Hi there. Welcome to the cult. I'm here with my sidekick here, Penny, and we are going to talk tonight about a specific little box set here. This one in particular. Try to get up and not drop it or her. There we go, right? Love you. It's a Friday 13th box set from Scream Factory. Why am I positioned like this? Why am I doing this not at a table? Why am I not doing this sitting down? I think we're both a bit hyper, right? Me and Penny. And I wanted to do something a bit different. I didn't want to be just sitting in front of a bunch of movies behind me, because I do that a lot. And I thought I'd take you to one of the places where I do a lot of my work at, and that's in my kitchen, where I sit down a lot and make coffee. That's how I start. That's how I start my day, and I usually end it that way too. But sometimes with tea or hot chocolate. Scream Factory's Friday 13th box set has come upon its 5th year, and rumors are that was the licensing agreement. It was for 5 years, and that's the reason that this magnificent set that belongs in everybody's collection is going away. So congratulations if you got this set, because it's a glorious piece of media. It's the definitive version of Friday the 13th. And yes, Arrow has put out a couple 4K editions, and Paramount has done the first 2 Friday 13ths on 4K. But those aren't as good or as this edition right here. In every format, every generation, for collectors, and really for horror collectors specifically, there comes box sets that define that era. In the DVD era, it was the Nightmare on Elm Street box set, the one with the Nightmare Encyclopedia, with those great covers and fantastic artwork. Artwork that was so good that when they decided to do the standard edition of the 4K for Nightmare on Elm Street, they went back to that well and used that artwork again. In the era of the Blu-ray, the Friday the 13th box set and the Halloween box set from Scream Factory are 2 milestones for collectors, for lovers of the genre, and for lovers of collecting in general. These are 2, I think, that when you see most collectors' collections, if they're fans of horror, they're fans of Friday 13th, they're fans of Halloween, they're there. They're there on the shelf. Much in the same way that the Nightmare on Elm Street set, back in the days of DVD, was on the shelf. So let's get into it a bit more. Let's look into the box set, dive into it more, and talk about it as I just sit here. Maybe I'll make a cappuccino. And we'll talk about one of the greatest box sets of all time. Full stop. When the Halloween set came out, it was a pretty incredible time. It was a set that we thought couldn't happen. But after it did, Friday the 13th became the set had to happen. If there was a Halloween, there would have to be a Friday the 13th. There would eventually have to be a Nightmare on Elm Street. Hopefully by the same company, which is not how it went. But when you look at the way this is done, just on the aesthetic look of it, the art, the incredible way this is drawn, the depth, the style, it's pretty amazing. The Halloween set looks great. The Friday the 13th set, though, kicks up another level. We get the... See, because Halloween went into different timelines. And behind the scenes, there were different companies that kind of worked with it. But with Friday the 13th, it's broken up into different eras. There's the Paramount era for Friday the 13th. There's the New Line era. And there's Platinum Dunes. One of those eras is much shorter than the other two. And one is much longer. Friday the 13th, along with Halloween, are my two favorite franchises. Nightmare is up there as a close second. And all honesty, if I was to be completely honest, those are the three franchises I grew up with. The way that my father grew up with the Hammer horror, or probably my grandfather grew up with the Universal horror. These were my monsters. These were my boogeymen. Jason really stood with me. I remember when I started writing for my school newspaper, one of the first things I did in that paper was an article on the Friday 13th franchise up to that point, which I think was up to maybe like 5 or maybe 6, I'm not sure. Probably 5, actually. So when this was announced, much like when the Halloween set was announced, I jumped at it. I knew that I wanted to get it. I knew this was going to be something monumental. And a question was asked later on, when like 4Ks of a couple of these came out, did that make this set irrelevant? Did that make this set lesser because there were upgraded editions of some of the films? For me, this made it more special. The 4K upgrades were okay, but this here still is the definitive versions of these. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of these features that were put in here were done by Screen Factory. So when these get kind of ported over to somewhere else, when they try to start doing these again, there's going to be featurettes and different things that we're probably going to lose. See, Screen Factory was known for putting all of this together, to getting as much of the archival stuff as he could, and getting much of the newer stuff as he could to do this definitive edition. They truly succeeded, didn't they? Let's look at this. It's a glorious story. But I think one of the things for me, it's a nice book too, is the fact that they decided to do this. The Halloween set in the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 came with a special edition, like an extra bonus disc for really focusing on parts 4 and 5 and some other stuff. When they did the Friday 13th one, they wanted to do a bit more, so they actually gave us 2 bonus discs chock full of stuff, and Friday 13th and slasher content. So you're looking at interviews with Harry Manfredini, who I was lucky enough to get to speak to on my channel, and great guy, by the way. There's a new location featurette on here. We get the return to Crystal Lake making the Friday 13th, the Friday 13th Chronicles that was on a previous set, the secrets galore behind the gore, the Slice and Dice Slasher Film Forever documentary. It's a full feature-length documentary. The Scream Queens Horror Heroines Exposed, the full documentary is on here as well. Before, you'd have to go and get these from the UK and get other discs that would have these on them as bonus features. Now you're getting them both here in one set. Crystal Lake Victims Tell All, Tales from the Cutting Room Floor, Friday Archives and Collectibles, Jason Forever, and so much more. From music videos to featurettes to full-length documentaries. For a horror fan, for a Friday 13th fan, for a slasher fan, these discs alone are worth weight in gold. The well put together and curated booklet goes through the entire franchise. It's definitely its own type of literal hype man for this box set. I love the use of the different pictures, the way that they draw us into this, and even for some of the films that people call some of the lesser films, getting some of the better pictures in there. seeing the way this is done, the way that it was put together. The write-up itself, well, it was by Michael Gingold from Fangoria. And welcome to Camp Crystal Lake indeed. The set wouldn't stop there, though. They give us the first Friday 13th with the original artwork, poster art, a brand new 4K scan of the original, negative, by the way, uncut and theatrical versions. I remember when the uncut version was so hard to get. Audio commentaries with Shaughnessy Cunningham, Victor Miller, Peter Brack, and more on the uncut version. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here. Man Band Legacy, Shaughnessy Cunningham, fresh cuts, new tales from Friday the 13th. And a 2-disc set too, so we get not just one, but 2 Blu-rays for the first one. And for some of these here, we're also looking at alternate artwork too. I really like this art for the first one, but for me, nothing beats the classic. When we get to part 2, my personal favorite, we're still looking at that new scan, looking at the Inside Crystal Lake Memories, the book. We got a article, we got a featurette on horror conventions here. We got a podcast with Amy Steele, and I've got some alternate art as well. Each one of these, as I'm taking them, come across as the definitive editions of each of these films. Friday the 13th Part 3D. I saw this in theater. I saw most of these in theater. I absolutely adore the fact that this is in real 3D. And I had a 3D TV. I could watch it like that. But and the 3D is really good. Like, it's really, really good. So yeah, definitely check the 3D edition of this one if you can. 3 is an underrated one. What I love about Part 3 is that the cast of characters are extremely likable. I didn't want any of the characters to die in this one. Usually there's characters where you kind of feel like, okay, they're put in for fodder. Really no fodder. No fat on this one. Often considered the best by some people, by a lot of people actually, is Friday the 13th Final Chapter. What's great with the Friday the 13th franchise is that, like in Nightmare on Elm Street, you can usually go to Part 3, and by far and large, that's considered like the best of the franchise. With Halloween, it's not the original Halloween, which most of the time it is, people are going for maybe the either 2018 or the original sequel. With Friday the 13th, there's a couple different choices, like legitimate choices that people choose. It's not as across the board. I love Friday the 13th Part 2, but a lot of people would choose the Final Chapter as their favorite Friday the 13th. Again, it's loaded with stuff, and there's alternate art. I also love Part 5, one of the most derided parts in the Friday the 13th franchise, because, well, you know why. I won't say it. I won't spoil it for you. But this one here comes with a new commentary with Melanie Kinnaman, Deborah Voorhees, and Tiffany Helm. So I love myself some commentaries. The archival commentary is still there. The fan audio commentary with Ada, Adam Green, and Joe Lynch is still there. All the other features are there. But you go that extra mile. Again, Jason lives Part 6 in a franchise, and when you got into Part 6, and this is considered by a lot of people, again, their favorite of the entire franchise, it's actually telling. It's pretty incredible that it's up that far in the series, the 6th one in the series, and yet it's the favorite of so many people. It's like the Nightmare on Elm Street 3 in a lot of cases. We get a new audio commentary on this one as well, with a load of other special features. It's a magnificent one, and you want to stop and pause, to look at the features, you can. Then we get to the New Blood, one that I like. Again, we get like a couple audio commentaries, featurettes, a whole bunch of stuff on this. And yeah, this was the one that was like cut. And could they get this uncut? Nah, but the cut scenes are in a featurette. Unfortunately, that was one thing that they couldn't do. Part 8. I was in college when this came out. I remember going to, the theater was around like just a couple meters away from my college. So I literally just walked across the field to go to the theater to watch Jason Takes Manhattan. I had the magazine too, the one that came out at the time. Again, we got a couple cool audio commentaries, a bunch of features on here. I love the art stuff to use for the back. And then we get into the New Line era. It's one of my least favorite eras of Friday 13th. We come to Jason Goes to Hell with the new scan, new audio commentary, new interviews. This one, when they did the 4K, this one, apparently got a pretty decent 4K. I never bothered to upgrade it. Not yet anyway. Because I was worried, because this does use a lot of not as much as Jason X. Jason X probably the one using more computerized effects. Yeah, this one I could probably grab on 4K. And it comes with the both the unrated and theatrical version of the film. I remember when I had to search that out. I found out a Blockbuster just before it closed. This is when I was worried because, and let me know if you had 4K this one. Do this digital effects stand the test of the 4K? I do like this one a lot. My friend, he's big into makeup and art, and when this one came out, he dressed up as Jason. I went to the theater in Stephenville, and his Jason was incredible. It's a really fun one. A lot of people, for people that don't like slashers or don't like Friday the 13th very much, this tends to be one that they go to. It got a second life on the Sci-Fi Channel. We got just two more to look at. There's the Freddy vs. Jason, my least favorite in the whole franchise. A lot of people love this one. I think this is a decent nightmare film. Doesn't work so well for me as a Friday 13th film. Though, for all the struggles that he had with featurettes and stuff for the New Line ones, there's actually some pretty decent stuff on here. And last but not least, a actual favorite of mine is the requel. Not a reboot, not a remake, but just kind of a new telling, an addition, ad admenium to the Friday 13th. And it is the Glorious Platinum Dunes. Both the theatrical and the unrated copy are on here, which is a lot of fun. There's a Terror Trivia Track, the picture-in-picture. Sadly, no commentary on this one, but really did enjoy this one. If I was to pick up anything new, I'd probably pick that up from for the 4K, just for the extra features that are on there. But if I never did, if I never come across it, I don't think I'll ever feel that I've never gotten my money's worth with this set, or spent time enjoying and loving it. In fact, much like the Nightmare on Elm Street set of the DVD days, I will find myself going back to this, the definitive edition of Friday the 13th, done by Scream Factory, who unfortunately nowadays they get derided a lot for some of the stuff that they do. I'm actually still a Scream Factory fan. I like a lot of the stuff that they still put out, and I do think, although some things have changed, there's enough really good stuff coming out from Scream Factory that I'm still really excited whenever I hear that there's an announcement for them coming out. Good job, Scream Factory. You put out a Friday the 13th set. It lasted. A big collector's edition Friday the 13th set. For 5 years. For 5 years, people were able to go on at any time. I often get it on for a nice sale price. A definitive edition of a box set. At a time when a lot of box sets sell out. That they're gone the first or second day. That they go to scalper territory very quickly. Friday the 13th didn't do that. In all its amazingness, in all its glory, and all its extra features and bonuses, Friday the 13th stayed with us. Year after year after year. As its time comes to a close, to get it new, if you haven't picked it up yet, I do recommend that you do, because it is a definitive edition of a franchise that, if you haven't fallen in love with it yet, this set is a great way to get there. My name is Aaron. This has been The Cult, and I love me a good Friday the 13th. Good job, Scream Factory. Good job. You get your flowers.
Oh God. Subscription sloth here. Just want to remind you that I know in the summertime especially it can be super warm and lazy. But if you're liking this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to go that step further and join the Patreon, there's a link for that down below. You can super sticker, super chat, or donate. But above all, just lie back and enjoy the video, because that's what I'm going to do.